Hi, this is Nathan. I just wanted to show a little Unreal Engine blueprint that I've been working on. I'm still learning, but I had an interesting problem that I was hearing about the other day, and I wanted to just act on it because it's been really bothering me. So the problem is you have a series of collectibles. And these are the collectibles, these little white boxes. And ideally they'd be colored or something. These ones are like little coins you can collect, and these ones, if you bump into them, they're enemies you can kill. There are 3 doors. The first door, if you collect one of the items, then that door will open. The second door, if you collect all 4 of the items, then that door will open. And the third one, if you kill 4 enemies, then this door will open. And all these objectives need to be handled simultaneously. Per se, like they have their different conditions and they're all running at the same time. So to demonstrate that, I'm just going to prove that it works. So collect the first one, the first door opens, you can see it pop up. Second one, second door opens as you collect all 4 of those. Third door, kill 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies, and that door opens. So like architecting in Unreal is a little bit strange, especially if you just use blueprints. I'm still trying to figure that out because I have like experience in Unity for the most part with C#, but I'm trying to figure this stuff out. So the way I have this organized is that each collectible is pretty shallow. All it has is this this tag associated with it, and it is a collectible blueprint. So we can go to that. Pretty quickly here, if I can find it. So the collectible, all it is this. There's really not too much to it. So collectible, if it's hit, then it just signals to a game mode that it is collected. It provides itself as the collectible for that collect item event in the collectathon game mode. That's all this does. There's no other logic in it, because my thinking is if you're architecting all this interconnected interaction, that you want to centralize where that interaction happens. So that's the collectible in its entirety. Just the score tag, nothing else. In this example, these collectibles have this item collected tag, and then these collectibles have this enemy killed tags. So we're pretending they're enemies. And of course, this would be more complicated if you start like shooting and killing enemies instead of collecting them. So that's collectible. And then on the other side of the sort of inert actors, we have the level objectives. So an objective has a counter that can tick up a goal that this objective counter is trying to get to. So in this case, 4. And if we click on another door, the goal is only 1. And then we have like what tag are we counting up? And we're saying for these 2 doors we're counting up on item collected, and then on this door we're counting up on enemy killed. And then again, if we look at the blueprint for this, it's really simple. So all we're doing in this blueprint, we have these inert variables which are handled elsewhere, and then here all we're doing is we're receiving an objective complete custom event, and we're debug printing that as well as opening the door, that is to just pop it up in the Z direction. So far pretty simple. All the fancy logic is happening within the game mode, and I'm thinking like to architect in Unreal you probably want to centralize as much as your logic as possible, especially if it's like really order dependent logic. You probably don't want Unreal handling what things happen in what order for you. Instead, you want to probably have like direct control over what happens when, especially in these cases where lots of things are trying to coordinate together. So this is pretty much where all the magic happens, and it's just a single sequence of actions that spawns from when you collect an item. So that the collectible, when it gets hit, it signals to collect the item, and then in the collectathon game mode, when you collect the item, it does some debugging, it destroys the actor of the collectible. So this logic for making the collectible disappear is in the game mode. So possibly you could have other collectibles that aren't destroyed if, say, that objective isn't active yet. You could, if all this logic is centralized within the game mode, then you could have it where like, oh, well, this objective isn't active yet, so then all the items that you could have collected are now just passed through. So as it's destroyed, it also gets all the level objectives that are in the level currently. So this is an array, and we can iterate through this array and handle each objective separately. So we're debugging for the name of the objective, and here is pretty important, where for each objective we have the tag that it cares about, either the item collected or the enemy killed, and that tag needs to match the collectible tag. So if I'm a door that opens for items collected, then I only care about collectibles that have that item collected tag. If we get there, then we continue along this path. If we don't, then that objective is ignored and is cut off here, and we go on to the next element of the for loop. So we're also now checking if the objective is already complete. If it's not complete, then we can continue. If it is complete, then we're going to quit this objective and go to the next objective as well then, too. The final part of this is we're going to increment the objective. So I don't know if there's a better way yet to do blueprints where you can just increment values and do like a plus plus operator, basically, but I'm getting the objective, I'm adding one, and I'm setting it back to the objective, the counter that is trying to reach the goal. And then here we're checking a special function. So I do have one pure function within the level objective blueprint, and it's really, really simple. So this is in the level objective, and it's a custom function called isComplete. And we're checking if the objective and the goal are equal to each other, and if so, then we say it is complete. And that's it. So that's just a very small simplification. But really, this logic could be in this game if we wanted to. So if it is complete, then we check if that is true. If it is true, then we signal back to the objective that it is complete. And that's where you get back to this in the event graph, that when the objective is complete, then we're going to debug, say, hey, I got the message that everything's complete, and we're going to open the gate. So the architecture is, I think, pretty simple, and when you're controlling everything from a central location, probably within the game mode, or maybe there's some other kind of like singleton that exists within your level, that's going to help you immensely to coordinate all your objectives and everything. So the objective isn't really doing much of anything. It's basically just like handling events that are coming back from the mode, and the collectible really isn't doing anything. It's just like passing on an event, a hit event, to the collect item event that again is handled in the game mode. So the more that you can centralize all your logic together, the easier it's going to be to figure out what is going on, trace all your lines, and figure out that everything is working the way it's supposed to and in the order it's supposed to, because in games, order does matter a lot. So that was my little rant about that little problem, and I hope that finds you, I hope that is useful to you and could come in handy with Unreal. I'm still learning it. I'm still trying to figure out if it's something that I should be diving deeply into or not, and if visual scripting is productive or not. But it's pretty interesting, and there's a lot of power in Unreal. So if you can extract that and use all the systems in Unreal, maybe it's worth it to train your brain a little bit on visual scripting, just so that you can do things somewhat conveniently. So one of the things that I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I debug stuff a little bit better? Right now I have to generate a new sequence to branch out and print a string, get the display name and everything. And of course there are some convenience things where if you just route it directly to the string, it's going to create that conversion for you. But ultimately there's a lot of strange things that I'd have to massage out. But it's not terrible, and definitely worth exploring further. So, well, thanks for listening in, and have a good one.